back to King and his retraining videos. It's been a while since we kind of did any. These are just old videos that I haven't had chance to kind of do. So just gonna kind of get in there and kick off with it all basically. So you'll see Ellie's got on him at the mountain block. We're walking him down to the school, completely chilled. We'd done that in the others. Just started doing that with him, and he was doing really good. So we're trotting along really, really nicely here. I'm not quite sure where my bit went warming up. That seems to have vanished, but we'd have literally just walked him around a couple of times and gone into trot. So I don't know if you remember in the last video, we were just trying to kind of get him to stretch a little bit more. We'd introduced the spurs to him, found him a lot easier with those. He didn't like us kicking constantly, so he's found the spurs a bit easier. And we were just working him nicely around the outside of the school. So in this video, what we're doing is, you'll see we're just coming away from the bottom of the top ends here, top and bottom ends, and just bringing him a little bit more on a circle, and just seeing if we can just help him a little bit with the balance. So we don't want to ask too much, but it's just about ever so slowly. He's having a lovely stretch there. Ever so slowly to start bringing him in off the walls and just say, right, we can turn a bit of a circle here. You can do it. And you'll see there was just a moment there, just back a little bit, where he had an odd, dodgy little step. And that'll be, again, just, it's not brilliant. It's just tiny, tiny little bits. And it's all because we've brought him on the circle. So instead of giving him all that room, we've just brought him in a little bit. So he's going nicely forward. We've gone for the canter. And again, we're moving out a little bit there just to give him a little bit more room, because we don't want him kind of doing two smaller circles in a canter. But just bringing him a little bit in to see if we can get a bit. And you'll see there, he's found it really hard. So what he's done is he's kind of fallen in and gone, look, I'm struggling a bit here. So Ellie came around that top bend and basically it fell apart a little bit. But they're all learning curves, learning steps for him. I mean, they say learning curves. That's what we're trying to do, really. Just kind of get the body just to move a little bit. But if it doesn't work straight away, we're not going to punish him for it. We're just going to go, okay, that's fine. You broke into trot. We'll change the rein. We'll give it a go this way. And you can see there, he's just a little bit muddled with it all. But she just allows him to kind of think about it, fall into the canter there. Now on this rein, it's a lot better, and you'll just see as she twists her shoulder. And what she was doing was trying to help him come around the corners. So moving her body is telling him and giving him signals in his body that you can do this. We can, we can loosen up and we can move. And that's what it's all about. Just these little bits that we're doing with him to see if we can get him to soften. And then, the last video, we were just trying to get a bit of a stretch. Looking that he's just kind of starting to get it. Oh, and then, has a little stumble. But he's been really, you can see how happy he is. It's a big improvement for him again. And, we've got to take every little bit that he does and he tries and give him praise for that. So important. We've had quite a short session there, and I thought it was a good idea as we were walking back to the stables that maybe we try him in the field. When his owner had him, obviously she was doing quite a lot of work in a field with him. So, it's all very well us schooling him in the school, but if she wants to do some field work with him, then we kind of need to make sure that he's going to be absolutely fine going back out into a field with her. So you'll see there, Ellie's just walked in, hasn't changed anything. She's just walked in positive, kept him on a nice long rein, hasn't gathered him up, hasn't asked him any questions, and just gone, look, just go for a walk across here. So we haven't made it a big deal. And I think this is the very important thing with these horses when, you're trying new things and you're doing new things with them. And it might seem, really minor. Oh, I'm going to just take him for a walk around the field. But don't forget, he's still a racehorse. He will have gone onto grass and he's galloped. And that's what is in their heads. A lot of the time they will just, think of this as, this is where I go for my gallop. So you kind of have to make sure that you're as relaxed and chilled out as you can be, because any tension that you have when you go into these, you know, grass areas and stuff like that, you're going to automatically put back to the horse, and they're going to feel every single bit of that. So they're going to get a little bit anxious about it and go, well, oh, we're coming in here, there's something going on now. So you'll see she's, again, on a really nice loose rein, and just gone, we'll just have a little trot along here. And he's not reacting. He's doing really, really well. He's just dropped his head. He's listening to her. He's following the dog. The dog's probably winding him up. But he's so chilled and relaxed. And I think, honestly, it's just the right time that we've done this with him. See, just getting loads of praise. And to be perfectly honest, again, short, sweet, that's it. That's enough for today. We don't need to be walking around loads, you know, going, oh, well, you walked around really nicely this time, so maybe I'll just go and do another lap. Why? Why do that? He's absolutely just walked really nicely. So let's just finish on a good note and leave him at that. I mean, that is how chilled he is. He's now smelling poo. I mean, yeah, not bothered about eating the grass. He just wants to check out who's been in this field. So it's really, really positive for him. And again, everything we do, we just want it to be positive, happy, relaxed, calm. The dog is really pushing a look and just trying to wind him up, jumping in and out of the water. But again, it's all these little things that are good for him. You know, he's not bothered in the slightest. And he's done really, really well. And there are horses that, I'll be honest, we won't take into big open grass fields and stuff, because it will blow their brains. But to be fair, King was just in a bit of a bad place at the time when he was, you know, having those attitude problems. He's perfect now. He really is. I'm so pleased with him. He's coming along so nicely. So today, King's owner has come to have a ride on him. So what we're doing is we've brought him down to the school so Ellie can show him off to her. And then she's going to get on and have a ride. And you'll see already here now the way he's working, he's already a lot more together. And it's just all coming, you know, naturally. We're not forcing anything. And you'll see the bend again, it's getting so much better. That little curve that I was on about, we're actually starting to get in the body. You know, he's been able to move himself around a little bit more. He's not quite so rigid. When you first start, sometimes they're like riding a plank of wood. So lovely canter in the corner, and you see here the head's just stuck to the outside a little bit. We're just trying to maneuver him around, and you'll see what Ellie's going to do is she's going to try and guide him around with her body. Sorry, a little bit far away there, but what she's doing is she's kind of just turning her body to show him where she wants him to go. And it's so important. It really helps him. You'll see here, oh, he just fell on his head. Yeah, show yourself off really well, King. So as we're coming up the top here, what she's doing is she's really kind of trying to drop her shoulder back, and, you know, she's not tipping him in, but she's going, right, this is the way I want you to go, this way. And he's like, okay, I get that. They're so super sensitive that they follow all our direction that we give them. And, you know, that's what we want. We just want them to be so soft and supple. And it's really important, especially a horse that suffers a little bit with anxiety, to get that. So this is the first time that King's owner has sat on him since he's been with us. And I mean, look at that canter. Doesn't he look good? And as you trot, keep trotting, don't lose him. Wiggle, that's it. Now riding forwards in that trot. Oh, good boy. And again, does it feel a bit easier? Yeah. Yeah, just change the rein with him. So open up your hand, just open it up, guide him round. Don't change anything. So ride right to that light, and then just open up your left hand. Drop your left shoulder back. Keep everything as you are. That's it, soften the neck, and leg on. Good. So at the moment, what we've got to do now is just make sure that we get these guys back as a partnership together, and you'll see it's all coming together really, really well. You know, and this is the important bit now. It's kind of explaining what we've done with King and being able then for his owner to carry on with it when he goes home. So after going into the school, we move on to the field, and look how relaxed they look together. I mean, it's just, it's perfect to see, considering what he was like when he came to us. So pleased. I mean, we're doing quite a lot with King at the moment. We've had in these videos that you've seen, Ellie still riding him, the owners coming. Now we're going out for hacks. This is actually his second hack out. The first one, we haven't actually got video of it, and it was a little bit of a disaster. Just the initial start, he got very impatient while he was waiting for the other horses to come and go out the gate. And we did have a rear and a run backwards. But in all fairness to Ellie, she didn't panic, and then she wanted to still go out with him, so they went back out onto the road, got him settled, and away they went. And to be fair, he settled brilliantly with her, so they did the right thing. But as you can see, he's walked out there really, really calmly, and it's just about making sure that we can keep on top of that anxiety with him. Obviously, standing around is a little bit of an issue. So, it's all little things like that that we still have to keep working on. Back in the school with King, and, what we're still carrying on with is just trying to strengthen him up. We want to get to the point now where he can start carrying himself a little bit easier and not having to rely on us all the time. We've done a little bit of, having him out in the field, having him out hacking. And sometimes it's kind of a few steps forward, a few steps back, because you'll see there, we're just kind of having to just say, come on, concentrate again, let's get you back to where we had you, and things like that. And again, there's nothing wrong with having those moments. You can't expect everything to progress the way we want it to or expect it to all the time. You take a good day, you have a little bit of a step backwards sometimes and say, okay, we'll work on this again. Because at the end of the day, it's all about training. He's having a lovely little stretch there, actually, as he goes around the corner. It is all about training, and it's all about encouraging them to do different things, find their happy place, allow their bodies to develop. They all develop at different speeds. And the most important thing is that we allow them to do that at their own pace. You'll see there, he's actually working, in a better frame, say, as his head comes up a little bit more. We're just trying to keep encouraging forward, keep encouraging, really kind of get that idea of a bit forward with him, because he's a bit backward thinking sometimes, and then we get a nice canter. As he falls on his head. So, he's not really concentrating very well with us here today. And for whatever reason, he's just not really working. But again, like I say, he's just thinking there, he's not really going to go onto the right lead. Yeah, wrong leg. And it's like, you know what? We don't want to get frustrated with you. Just give you a moment and just let you think about it. And then we will just try again. So rather than he's going, not really wanting to do this today. No, really not interested. And you go, please, come on. So he drops his head down. So there we go. We just kind of give him a chance to settle back into things and try again. There we go. Right leg. So we just move on with the canter. Just allow to keep driving him a little bit forward. And as I say, this is a bit of a step back day. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. We can't expect every day to be absolutely perfect with them. Because at the end of the day, we have days when we come out of bed and we're just like, just really don't feel up to it today. So we've had our little canter. We're not asking loads of questions of him. We're just basically just kind of getting on with it, going through the motions. And there, we haven't argued with him. We've just gone, all right, we've done it. We've got the canter. He's actually trotting really nicely there, a lot more forward. So what you don't want to do is, if they're not quite feeling it, then don't put the pressure on. There's no need to put the pressure on. And you'll see he's still relaxed. He's still happy. And that's a much better canter again. We're still motorbiking a little bit around the corners. And he just fell on his feet. Ellie was like, come on. Because actually also what we can't do is have him completely asleep, because if he does fall on his head, it's not good. And he's just not quite concentrating. So she's going, come on, King, let's just get on with it. And he's going, oh, if I must. So, he's come back, we've got a nice trot again. you know, there's nothing wrong with that trot whatsoever, and she's still making loads of fuss of him because there is no point in getting upset with them. So what we've done is we've come out now. We're going for a walk around the gallop. I said to her, look, let's just leave it at that. He's obviously not in the mood today. He's kind of, you know, a little bit all over the place. The brain is not engaging with the legs not engaging with the brain. There's no point in us asking any more of him. So we've kept him calm and relaxed, and we're doing something else with him again. And you can see how chilled he is just out there, walking around the gallop, you know. She's just letting him walk on a nice loose rein, giving him some pats and just allowing him to take it all in. And this is, like I say, this is what it's all about. Again, this is another big step for him to be, look how chilled he is there, and actually he's really enjoying that. He just wasn't in the mood for schooling. So, you know, we did our kind of, 5 minutes in the school, came out, had our trots and canter on both reins and left him at that. And yeah, he's quite chilled out by it, getting eaten by horseflies, but quite chilled out by everything. And it's so nice to see him enjoying things. A bit of jumping with King. We've got the poles out, seeing how he is, and so far it's all going quite well. You know, he's not bothered by anything in the slightest, literally not bothered by anything. As you can see, he didn't particularly notice that was there. I think we just kind of hit it on a good one, and he managed to pick his feet up over it. So here we go. We're going to try and a canter and just see if we can get him to maybe come off the floor a little bit with it. Nope. And so we try straight. Nope. So we kind of have to rethink things. It's not looking like King is much, you know, bothered about jumping. Not really getting stressed out or bothered about it. We'd just like to see if we can come off the floor a little bit. So we decide to kind of, you know, give him a little bit more to look at and stick some poles on the side for him, and see if we can just encourage him to try and make a little bit of shape come off the floor. Yay, it works. You see, he's so chilled and so relaxed about it all. So yeah, we think we've finally cracked it a little bit, and he's kind of got an idea of now what to do. So we come around for the second time, and nope. So look, different parts of training, but yeah, it's kind of one of those where, you know, you try a little bit of everything with them, and hopefully next time we try, we might have a little bit of an improvement. But look, if jumping's not for him, he's come on loads and everything else, so we can't be disappointed.